Okay, today I'd like to talk about the root of an equation. So, what is a root and how does it help graph an equation? Well, the root of an equation is the solution or root of an equation is any value that makes the equation true. So, the root of an equation is also the x-intercept. Okay, so what does that tell us? Well, let's take it a step further. If we're going to solve for zero, it's basically solving for zero, because if we solve for zero, make y zero, the result will be the x-intercept. So our first step will be to move all the non-zero terms to one side of the equation. Well, I've got 2x is equal to 8. I want to move all the non-zero terms, so anything that's not a zero, I want to move it to one side. Well, I already have the variable term on the left, so let's go ahead and subtract 8 from both sides, because that will get the constant 8 on the other side. When we do so, the result is 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Now, here's where the root comes in. When I solve that, and I have 2x minus 8 is equal to 0, that can be written a couple of different ways. You can write it in slope-intercept form and replace the 0 with y. So we would have y is equal to 2x minus 8. Or we could put it in function form, which would be the function of x is equal to 2x minus 8. Now let's take that a step further, now that we've got that. From this point, since we have it written as in slope-intercept form, we can find our x and y intercepts very easily. Remember, to find our x-intercept, we're going to make y 0. So we substitute 0 for y and we solve the equation. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add 8 to both sides. The result will be 8 is equal to 2x. Our next step would be to divide both sides by 2. In doing so, we've got x isolated, and remember, if y was 0, the x value is the x-intercept. So let's go ahead and divide, and we end up with 4, so the x-intercept of this equation is 4. We're going to do the same thing, and we're going to find the y-intercept. To do that, let me move this out of our way just for now. To find the y-intercept, we're going to replace the x with 0. So we plug that in. Well, 2 times 0 is 0, and 0 minus 8 is negative 8. So the y-intercept is going to be negative 8. From that point, we can take our intercepts and go ahead and graph them. So our x-intercept is at positive 4. So here's positive 4, there's our x-intercept. Our y-intercept is negative 8. So we're going to go down on the y-axis to negative 8 and put that point in there. And then to graph it, we just draw a line through those 2 points that goes clear across our graph. So I've already got my line drawn, so let's just get it in there. So we found the root of the equation. From finding the root of the equation, we were able to write an equation in slope-intercept form. Then we found our x and y intercepts, and using those intercepts, we graphed the equation. You could also, once you find the root, you could also use a table, okay? And once you have it in y equals mxb form, the function part, the 2x minus 8, is what goes in the middle of our table. We select our input, we just plug it in and see what results. So, when I plug in, let's see, negative 2, I have 2 times negative 2 minus 8, which is negative 12. So I have the ordered pair, negative 2, negative 12. When I plug in negative 1 for x, I have 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2, minus 8, which is negative 10. So I have another ordered pair of negative 1, negative 10. Our next input is 0, so I plug in 0 for x. And 2 times 0 is 0, and 0 take away 8 is negative 8. So our third ordered pair will be 0, negative 8. Scroll up just a bit. When we plug in positive 1 for x, we have 2 times 1, which is 2, minus 8, which is negative 6. So our fourth ordered pair is the ordered pair 1, negative 6. Last but not least, we're going to plug 2 in for x. When we do so, we have 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 minus 8 is going to be negative 4. So we have the ordered pair 2, negative 4. Now we can take those ordered pairs and plot them on our coordinate plane. The first one, this is a 10 by 10 graph, or 10 by 10 coordinate plane. So the negative 2, negative 12 will not fit. But the next one will, negative 1, negative 10 will fit on here. So it's negative 1, then negative 10, and there's our first point. Our next point was 0, negative 8. Well, 0, negative 8 don't go back or forth at all. Just go down to negative 8, and there's our point. Our next ordered pair is 1, negative 6. So that is 1 to the right and 6 down, which is right there. And our last ordered pair is the ordered pair 2, negative 4. So we go 2 to the right and 4 down, and there's our last ordered pair. Now again, to complete the graph, we've got to draw a straight line that goes through all of our points and goes clear across our graph. So we've learned how to find the root of an equation and what the root of an equation was. Once we found that, we were able to write it in function form or slope-intercept form. We could find the x and y intercepts in graph, or we could make a table in graph. So I hope this helps you out a little bit. I know you might have questions. If you do, reach out to me, and have a good one.